we're revising algebra, okay? So the first one's a factorized question. Now, a factorized question usually ends up with an answer in two brackets. So what we use here is the reference number method. So we multiply 3 by 2 to get the reference number. The reference number is going to be minus 6. Then we break minus 6 up into two factors, okay? So we could have 3 and 2, or we could have 1 and 6. Now, the problem with 3 and 2, in order to make plus 5, we need both of them as plus. So plus 3 and plus 2. Now, plus 3 plus 2 does make plus 5. However, when you multiply plus 3 with plus 2, it doesn't give you minus 6, it gives you plus 6. So you can rule that out. The next one's going to be 6, 1 and 6. So if you had plus 6 and minus 1, minus 1 plus 6 gives you plus 5. And minus 1 multiplied by 6 gives you minus 6. So that's the correct answer, okay? So what we're looking at here is we're going to look at the splitting them up. So we got 2x squared minus 1x plus 6x minus 3. Take x out of the first two, and you're going to be left with x into 2x minus 1. You automatically know the next bracket's got to be the same. What number in here will multiply by 2x to give you plus 6x? That's going to be plus 3. And now all we need to know is that the numbers that can come in front of the bracket go into the first bracket, so it's going to be x plus 3, and the second bracket is going to be 2x minus 1. Now, if you read the second question, what you know is that the two of these are actually exactly the same. So what we can do for the next part of the question, for part 2, is we can just put x plus 3 multiplied by 2x minus 1. That's x plus 3 is a number, and 2x minus 1 is another number. Both numbers when multiplied together give you 0. This means that either the first number is 0 or the second number is 0. So this would mean x plus 3 equals 0, which would then mean that x has to be equal to minus 3, or 2x minus 1 equals 0, which means that when you bring over the 1, 2x equals 1, and then x would have to be equal to a half. Okay, that's answer part 1. Now part 2, solve the two simultaneous equations. So we know that y equals 10 minus 2x. So all we have to do is replace y with 10 minus 2x into the second equation. So this is going to be equation A and equation B. So always replace equation A is the linear. The reason why it's a linear equation is it has no x squareds, no y squareds, and no xy's. Okay, well we can see clearly that this has x squared and y squared. This makes this one the quadratic. Okay, so insert the linear into the quadratic. So x squared plus 10 minus 2x squared equals 25. Now remember, 10 minus 2x is 10 minus 2x. 10 minus 2x squared, which is this part here, is 10 minus 2x by 10 minus 2x. And what this gets you is, it gets you 100. Now we can just multiply this out. Now we want to multiply this out the long way, which has all the steps. What you're going to do is 10 multiply first number by second bracket. And then you're going to do second number by second bracket. And then what you're going to end up getting is this. You're going to end up getting 100 minus 20x minus 20x plus 4x squared. Then you're going to get 100 minus 40x plus 4x squared. Okay, so we'll just insert that in. So we get this, and all we have to do is add on x squared onto it. So what our actual answer is going to be, and then this is going to be x squared added onto it. Okay, so then we're going to get 5x squared minus 40x plus 100 equals 25. Bring the 25 over the other side, it comes minus 25. And what we're going to have now is 5x squared minus 40x. We can do plus 75 equals 0. Now because we have an equal sign on our side, we can take out 5. Okay, so we can say this equals 5 into x squared. So we're factorizing minus 8x plus 15 equals 0. And what we know is that if we have multiplication by 5 on the left, we can put as division by 5 on the right. And that's going to be 0 divided by 5. And 0 divided by 5 is still 0. So what we're going to end up with is we're going to end up with x squared minus 8x plus 15. We can do the reference number again. Now remember, you can do a special case for the reference number when it has a 1x squared. So all you have to do is say the reference number is 1 multiplied by 15, which is 15. Therefore the answer has to be 3 and 5. 3 and 5 gives you 8. So we want minus 3 minus 5. So what you'll know automatically then is going to be x minus 3, x minus 5. You don't need to do the middle stage because it's a 1x squared. It's a special example. And then you put the line down the middle, and then you say x minus 3 equals 0, x equals 3, or x minus 5 equals 0, x equals 5. Okay. Next step. Now, find the value of x in each of the following equations. Okay. Now, what we're looking to do here. Okay. If I can just take them off, actually. What we're looking to do is we're looking to get the laws of indices here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste these laws over. So I'm going to use maybe the first three, or these laws here are usually the ones we'll use. Okay, so I'll copy these, and what I'll do now is I'll just paste them over. Okay, paste. Okay, so a bit all over the place here. So maybe I'll just delete this one off for a second. Okay, so we have some laws here, the laws of indices. Okay, so what we can do at the start here is we're just going to try this question now here. Now, what you need to do with these questions is always look at the two numbers. Now, 27. Okay, so 9 to the power 1 is 9. 9 squared is 81. So basically 27 can't be converted into 9, so we have to go smaller than that. So what we know about the two of these is that we know that 9 is 3 squared and 27 is 3 cubed. Okay, so that's the first thing we can do in here. Okay, so the first thing we can do is just change that around. I'm just going to grab the last law here. This law here is the one I want. Okay, copy, and we'll just paste this in here at the end. Okay, now what we're going to have here is we're going to change 9 into 3 to the power 2. So just 9 is getting changed into 3 to the power 2, and what's left outside the 9 is the 2x minus 3, and we're changing the 27 into 1 over 3 cubed. Now the next thing we got to do is we got to pick which rule to use. So you'll notice that there's a big number is 3. Okay, there's a big number here. There's a power inside the bracket, there's a power inside the bracket, and then outside the bracket there's another power. This means we got to multiply m by n. The mn without a gap means you multiply m by n. Therefore we got to multiply 2 by this. Okay, so we're going to get 3 to the power of 4x minus 6. Okay, 2 times 2x is 2x is 4x. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. The next thing we're going to look at is down here. We're going to use law 7 for this one here. So this is going to be used for law 7. So we have a number on the bottom. We have big A is equal to 3, and m is also equal to 3. So this can change into 3 to the power of minus m, which is minus 3. Now what we know is that 4x minus 6 equals 3 equals minus 3. And what we can say is that 4x, bring over the minus 6 and turns into plus 6. And then we know that 4x equals 3. X must be equal to 3 over 4. Now, if you want to check your answer in a test, okay, all what you gotta do is put back in your numbers, okay? So use your calculator to check this out. So we're gonna have 9 to the power of 2, and that's gonna be to the power of, so 9 to the power of 2x, so it's gonna be 9 to the power of 2 times 3 over 4 minus 3. So put that into your calculator, okay, and see what it comes out as. So it's going to be 9 to the power of 2 times 3 over 4. 2 multiplied by 3 over 4. Okay. And then you're just going to check that out into your calculator. Minus 3. and you get 1 over 27, so you can actually check that it's right. So you just put that into your calculator, input it exactly as it looks, and you'll get 1 over 27. Now remember that this is all the power. This is in the power box, okay? So that's important. Now the next question. The third questions are actually very easy, okay? So the third questions, all we gotta do is just be able to use your calculator, to be honest, okay? So all you gotta do is just enter this into your calculator exactly as it looks, okay? So 3 root 12 minus root 27, just use your calculator, guys, and you get calculator, okay? So you're just gonna put all this into your calculator, and the answer you get out is 3 root 3, and you know that this equals x root 3, therefore x is equal to 3. It's that easy, okay? Next one, we're going to simplify this, and as before, 2x minus 3 is multiplied with 2x minus 3. Now, the key thing to remember here is there's a minus 1 in here, okay? And if there's a minus 1 in here, you want to make a little box around here that you're going to multiply minus 1 by. Okay, so let's try this out. We're going to get 2x into 2x minus 3 minus 3 into 2x minus 3. Then we're going to have minus 1 bracket 4x into x minus 4 plus 1 into x minus 4. Okay, squared. Okay, not squared. And then we're just going to multiply these out. What's going to happen is we're going to get 4x squared minus 6x minus 6x plus 9. Then we're going to have minus 1 bracket 4x squared minus 16x plus x minus 4. Okay, now the great thing about this multiplying in by minus 1, okay, so all you gotta do is multiply this in by minus 1, okay, and what we're going to be left with is this. We're going to be left with 4x squared minus 12x plus 9, and see this here is the same as minus 15x, okay, so we'll just multiply by minus 15x, okay, so the minus 1 will just get multiplied by the, excuse me, the minus 1 will just get multiplied by the minus 15x here, okay, so that's what we'll do here. Minus 15x, okay, so we're going to 1 by 4x squared, 1 by 15x, and minus 1 by 4. And what we're going to get here is minus 4x squared plus 15x, because minus 1 multiplied by minus 15 is plus 15x, minus 1 by plus 4, that's plus 4. And then also what we got to do is add the like terms together, so 4x squared minus 4x squared gives you 0x squared minus 12x plus 15x is plus 3x, and then we're going to get 9 plus 4 is plus 13. So our answer is 3x plus 13. Okay, next one. Solve the equation given your answer correct to 2 decimal places. The 2 decimal places is a dead giveaway for the minus b formula, where x equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now the next thing you need to know is that the general formula, and it's given to you in your logbook, is ax plus c equals 0. There, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So a equals 1, b equals minus 7, and c equals minus 6. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get x equals, now I like to put down minus b equals plus 7. Okay, so equals plus 7 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, which is going to give you minus 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 6. Now, and that's going to be all divided by 2 times 1. Now in a test, I'd always, or just doing any of these questions, I'd always put this straight into the calculator, okay, so this one's going right into the calculator, okay. So once it goes into the calculator, what we're going to do now is just going to put it right in, and we're going to get Okay, so we're going to get root 73. X is equal to 7 plus or minus root 73 divided by 2. Therefore, x is equal to 7 plus root 73 divided by 2, or 7 minus root 73 divided by 2. Now, to do this in your calculator, it's best just to keep the top and bottom separately sometimes. Okay, so what we're going to get here is 7 plus root 73, and what we're going to get is 15.54. We're going to divide that by 2, and what we can get here is 7.77. Okay, the next one is going to be 7 minus root 73 divided by 2, and that's going to be x equals minus 0.77. Check up 2 decimal places. This one here, not 2 decimal places, 772, which is minus 0.77. That's correct. The other one, we just got to double check here. That's 772 as well, so that will be 7.77. Okay, so that's also correct. Now, once again, just put this directly into the calculator. Okay, so I'm just going to put this all into my calculator here. Okay, so just put it right into your calculator. Okay, root 50 minus root 32 plus 2 root 8. And what we're going to get here is 5 root 2 equals k root 2. K equals 5. Okay, it's that easy. Next one. Hence solve the equation here. Okay, so we know that's 5 root 2. Now, I'm just going to do this one. I'm just going to do this one as a solved equation, okay? Because the two of these don't really seem to have much to do with each other. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll solve this. Now, what I'm going to need again is my rules. Okay, so I'm just going to paste. Just going to go back a couple of slides, and what we can do here is just try and get these rules back. Okay, where we found them. These ones here. Copy and paste. Okay. Now, the first thing you got to know is that root 27. We got to change 27, right? So 27 divided by 3. Just keep dividing by 3. Goes 9 divided by 3 again. Goes 3 divided by 3 again. Goes 1. So 27 equals 3 to the power 3 and a square root sign. Okay. And this one here. We're going to be using. This is 3 to the power 1. So that's basically 3 to the power 1 multiplied by 3 to the power of x. So it's this one here, right? So we're going to get 3 to the power of 1 plus x, okay? Now, the next rule we may need to look up is going to be, we're going to have to realize that the square root is actually, the square root sign actually means to the power of a half, okay? So the square root sign actually means to the power of a half. So square root equals to the power of a half. Okay, so we're going to 3 to the power 1 plus x equals 3 to the power 3 to the power of a half. Okay, so you got to know it's a bracket 1. See the brackets there, and then this part here is going to be the n, and this red part here is going to be the m. You need to multiply the two of these by each other. Okay, multiply. So what this means is 3 to the power 1 plus x equals 3 to the power 3 over 2. Therefore 1 plus x must equal 3 over 2. Therefore x is equal to 3 over 2 minus 1, x equals a half. Okay, and what we can do now is check answer. And to check the answer, all we have to do is write down 3 to the power of 1 multiplied by 3 to the power of a half into the calculator. Just check this out. Calculator. Okay, so 3 to the power of a half. 3 multiplied by 3. And what we get here is 5.19. Root 9. And root 27 is also equal to 5.19. Correct. Okay, so we can check that's correct before we leave. That's the power of the calculator. Okay. Next one, we got to figure out the value of b when a equals minus 2. So just replace a with minus 2. 2b equals 4. So minus 6 minus 2b equals 4. Bring the 6 over the other side. So minus 2b equals 4 plus 6. Minus 2b equals 10. b equals 10 over minus 2. b equals minus 5. Okay, solve for x and y, the simultaneous equations. Okay, so the first thing we can do here is we need to get x or y on its own. Now you have a choice. You can move the 2y over and you can say this one's the linear because it has no x squareds and y squareds, and this one's the quadratic. Okay, and this is just after reminding me sending me, just reminding me, I don't even think I figured out what y is. I figured out what x equals 3 and x equals 5 is on this question here, but I never found y. So always make sure you find y. Okay? So when you find y, what we need to do is y equals 10 minus 2x. Always use the linear a second time. So y is going to be 10 minus 2 times 3. 10 minus 6 equals 4. So y equals 4 when x equals 3. And then the next one, y equals 10 minus 2x. This time x equals 5. Y equals 10 minus 2 times 5. Y equals 10 minus 10, which is equal to 0. Okay? So when x equals 2, y x equals 0. That can also be written as 3, 4 and 5, 0. Okay, so always remember to get the x and y values in simultaneous equations. Okay? It's a very easy mistake to make, or just not completing it. Okay, so we have two options here. We can say that x equals 3 minus 2y, or we can alternatively say, bring over the x, we can say 2y equals 3 minus x, y equals 3 minus x over 2. Now there's two options, okay? We can either put x in here, that's option A, or option B would mean that we put y in here. Now, I don't like the looks of the y. The y has a fraction in it. So I'm thinking I don't want to use this fraction at all, okay? So because I don't want to use the fraction, it just makes the whole job a lot harder. So I'm going to get rid of the fraction here, and I'm going to stick with my x equals 3 minus 2y. Now, once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert that into the equation. So we're going to get 3 minus 2y squared, which is this part here, minus y squared equals 24. Then what we're going to get is 3 minus 2y, 3 minus 2y, minus y squared equals 24. Next thing we're going to get is 3 into 3 minus 2y, minus 2y into 3 minus 2y, minus y squared equals 24. Next thing we got to do is just multiply it out. Okay, when we multiply that, we're going to get 9 minus 6y minus 6y plus 4y squared minus y squared. And we're going to bring the 24 over to the side, so we're going to get minus 24 equals 0. Next thing we're going to do here is we're going to get start off with minus y squared. Okay, minus y squared. No, it's not minus y squared. It's going to be 3y squared because I forgot about the two of these, so that's going to be 3y squared. Next thing I'm going to do is the green part, which is going to be minus 12y. And then the part after that is going to be minus 24 plus 9. So minus 24 plus 9 is going to be minus 15 equals 0. Okay. Now you could do the minus b formula here. That's no bother whatsoever. But what I'm going to know is that they're all divisible by 3. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 3 into y squared minus 4y minus 5 equals 0. I'm going to bring the 3 over to your side and it's going to become division. Okay. So when it comes to division, what we're going to be left with is y squared minus 4y minus 5 equals 0 over 3. So we can say y squared minus 4y minus 5 equals 0. Now, as I said, you could do the minus b formula as a equals 3, b equals minus 12, and c equals minus 15. You'll get the answers out quite easily, but it just takes that bit longer. Okay, so you notice this way here, what I'm going to get is my reference number. The reference number is the first number multiplied by the last number. And what I can get here is plus 5, or sorry, minus 5. Then minus 5 breaks up into, we want 5 and 1. Minus 5 plus 1. And because it's a 1y squared one, all we have to do is say y minus 5 into y plus 1 equals 0. And that means that either the first number or the second number equals 0. So y minus 5 is equal to 0, or y plus 1 equals 0. And what happens here is we bring it over and we get y equals minus 1. We bring this one over here and we get y equals 5. Okay, it's that easy. Now, I didn't figure out what x is, okay, so I had to figure out what x is. So x is equal to 3 minus 2y. And because x equals 3 minus 2y, when x is going to be equal to 3 minus 2 times 5, x is going to be 3 minus 10, x equals minus 7. So when y equals 5, x equals minus 7. We can put that into a box here. Okay, the next one is going to be x equals 3 minus 2 times minus 1. X equals 3 plus 2. X equals 5. So x equals 5 when y equals minus 7. So the two ways we can write down this answer are as follows. We can go 5, always the x value always leads, remember, so we can say that it's minus 7, 5, and the next one is going to be 5 minus 7. Okay, next question. Find the length and width of the rectangle. Okay, so we know the area is 24. So 24 means length multiplied by width. Okay. Some people ask which one. How do we know which one's length, which one's the width? It's just I usually go whichever one is longer is the length, and whichever one is smaller is the width. Alright. So area equals length by width. Length multiplied by width. Okay. And what we get here is the following. We're going to get area ends up to be 3x minus 4 into x minus 1. This equals 24. We're just going to multiply these out. Okay, so when we multiply them out, we're going to get 3x into x minus 1 minus 4 into x minus 1. This all equals 24. Then we're going to multiply it out. And we get 3x squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 4 Bring over to 24, comes minus 24 equals to 0. And now we know that it's going to be 3x squared. Now the two of these here going to combine together to make minus 7x. And the 4 and the 24 are going to combine together to give you minus 20 equals 0. Okay? Now we're gonna try. Usually length doesn't really have decimals in it, so we're just going to try the reference number way starting off. So 3 multiplied by 20 is going to get us minus 60. Okay, and then we're going to think of what will multiply together to give you minus 60. Okay. Alright, so the factors of this are 12 and 5. Okay, so what happens is it's going to be minus 12 plus 5. So we get here is 3x squared minus 12x. Now remember, this isn't a 1x squared one, so we have to do it the slightly longer way here. Minus 20 equals 0. So we're going to get is 3x into x minus 4 plus 5 into x minus 4. Because when you multiply it back out the same, remember to factorize 3x in common. 3x by x is 3x squared, right? So equals 0. Now what you notice is that these two guys here, they go in the first bracket, so 3x plus 5, and the other two are x minus 4. That equals 0. So what we're going to get here is x equals 4. So, we're going to get x minus 4. X minus 4 equals 0. Bring out a 4, x equals 4. Or we're going to get 3x plus 5 equals 0. X equals 3x equals minus 5. And then therefore x is minus 5 over 3. Now we have to discount one of these. You could have done the minus b formula up here, by the way. You could have said a is 3, b is minus you could have said b is minus 7 and c is minus 20 for the minus b formula if you wanted to do it that way. Now we got to look at these two answers, right? So x equals 4 or x equals minus 5 over 3. Now remember, when it comes to length and width, you can't have a minus answer. So if x is equal to minus 5 over 3 for the width, that'd be a negative number right there, and we're not allowed to have a negative number. So x cannot be equal to minus 5 over 3. Therefore this answer just disappears, okay? So we know that x equals 4. Now when x is equal to 4, the width is 4 minus 1. So the width is equal to 3. The length is going to be 3 times 4 minus 4, which is going to be 12 minus 8. So the length would be equal to, 12 minus 4. 12 minus 4, so the length will be 8. Okay? So length will be equal to 8. Now, next one. For these questions here, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to just simplify these here. So we're just going to have a look at the our rules and see what happens. Okay, so the rule is multiply the big numbers by the big numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 12 by the 6, and we're going to get 12. Okay, and then we're going to have x4 multiplied by x3 divided by 3x5. Okay, now this part here is very much like this rule here. Okay, so we're going to get 12x7. Okay, then we're going to get divided by 3x5. This part here, okay, is basically this part here. Okay, so what we can get is, and this part here, 12 divided by 3 is going to be 4. And then we're going to get x7 minus 5, and that will give us 4x squared. Okay. Next part, solve the equation. Now remember what I said about these. There's going to be 3 arrows. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I usually do them with 3 different colors. So we try this again. Red, blue, and green. Okay. So green is 1 multiplied by x minus 1. The blue is going to be 1 multiplied by x. And the red is going to be x into x minus 1. And that's all going to equal 3 over 2. Okay, just going to multiply these out. We're going to get is x minus 1 plus x divided by, now we can multiply these out here as well. We're going to get x squared minus 1x equals 3 over 2. Now, what we can do to save time is we can add the two of these together, and they're just going to give us 2x, okay? So that can, this can very much disappear, right? So this is going to be 2x minus 1 here, okay? So it's going to be 2x minus 1. Now, what we're looking at next is we're going to be looking at cross multiplying. So that's the 3 arrows. Now you only use 2 arrows when cross multiplying, so you bring this one up here, that's going to be the green arrow. This one here is going to be the red arrow, okay? So what we're going to get here is 2 into 2x minus 1. And that's going to be equal to 3 into x squared minus 1x. And now what we're going to have here is we're going to have 6x minus 2. And that's all going to be equal to, now that matter, oh, that's not 6x, that's 4x, okay? So just take it easy when you're doing these, because you don't want to cough up an easy answer, okay? So that's going to be 4x minus 2. And this one here is going to be 3x squared minus 3x. Okay, bring them over this side. So bring the minus 2 and the minus 4 over this side. So we're going to get 0 equals 3x squared minus 3x minus 4x. And that's going to change to plus 2. This is going to change to minus 4x. That's going to be plus 2. Then what we have here is we're going to get 0 equals 3x squared minus 7x plus 2. We'll spin this around. 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 equals 0. Now we could use the minus b, where we could say a equals 3, b equals minus 7, or c equals 2. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try the reference number. And the reference number is 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6. Break up 6 into 6 and 1. We want minus 7 in the middle. So because we want minus 7 in the middle, that's going to be minus 6 minus 1. And what we can get here is this. We can get 3x squared minus 6x minus 1x plus 2 equals 0. Because this 7x is breaking up into the minus 6x minus 1. Then we factorize. We can take 3 out of 2 of these. 3. We can take more than 3 out. We can take 3x out. 3x into x minus 2. This is when we factorize the 2 of these together. Now we're going to factorize 2 of these together, because that's going to be x minus 2 there as well. And this is going to make this a minus 1. And what we can say there is 3x minus 1 and x minus 2 equals 0. Put the line down the middle. And what we can say is that 3x minus 1 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. Bring the 1 over. 3x equals 1. Bring the 3 underneath. X equals 1 over 3. Multiplication turns to division. Subtraction turns to addition. So there's your two answers there, okay? And that's the end of that question. Now, find the value k. If x is a root, if 4 is a root, this means that when I put this in, it should work. So I'm going to put 2 times 4 squared. 2 times 4 squared plus 4k minus 20 equals 0. So we're going to get is 32 from your calculator. Okay, plus 4k minus 20 equals 0. So that's going to be, if we join the two of these together, we're going to get 12 plus 4k equals 0. Bring the 12 over to your side, so it's going to get 4k equals minus 12. K is going to be minus 12 over 4, and therefore k is going to be equal to minus 3. Okay. Next one, solve these. Okay, so this is very easy. This is just a cross multiplication scenario where we just want to get the rid of the 4. Okay, so all we got to do is just to get rid of the 4. So bring the 4 underneath. So x is going to be 32 over 4, and x is going to be equal to 8. Okay, now this one here, is not going to be as easy. So what we can say here is we can say, okay, so x, actually we don't even need those rules. Okay, so we can say x root 2 over 4, and then we can say, just put that into our calculator. It doesn't say anything about uh, about using this. So it will actually give us the answer of, it doesn't say in which form, so we can say that x equals 0.35. Okay, you could also use algebra to do this. So what we could say is this: we could say that x equals root 2 over 4. We could also say that that's x equals 2 to the power of a half divided by 2 to the power of 2. And then we could circle this out here, and we can circle this one here. And then what we can say is that x equals 2 to the power of a half minus 2. And we can say that x equals 2 to the power of minus 3 over 2, or x equals, well, we can use this rule here. We can say that equals 1 over 2 to the power 3 over 2. So several ways of expressing the same number, okay? Okay, next question. Okay, so we'll stop it there for today, and we'll this video